You guys watch right along with me. You notice the eye squinting? This guy's crying. He's doing everything to fight back tears because he is being sent back to the great Satan. That's exactly what's happening. Sent back to the great Satan. Now we're going to move forward to about 250, right along in this area. Here he is sitting in the car. Watch very carefully the body language of what's going on here. This guy's giving him instructions. Look at number one, number two, raising his hands up. He turns around to make sure he's not being heard. Wiping away of the tears. This guy is getting his final instructions. Now watch. You see the pat on the chest right here? He's being reassured. Because this is all a plan. This plan was not even created by any jihadist. This plan was created by the CIA. That's the reason that you're seeing the control mechanisms in place to protect this traitor inside the United States. And why the military seems to have no control whatsoever. Because the DOD is working under the CIA also. Just like Barry in the White House, just like Billary, that was Secretary of State. The reason they screwed up Benghazi, the story, the video, and all that so terribly is because they're regurgitating what they're being given from the CIA. This is all about the CIA. These militants right here are working under the CIA. This exchange is allowing the CIA to control both sides of what is essentially an illegal war on terror. Let's just keep on watching. He's getting patted, and he's being told, this "don't come back to Afghanistan" is propaganda added by the United States. That's not what he's being told. Now he's looking back at the camera to make sure that he's not being listened to, that they can't hear exactly what he's saying, because he is receiving his final orders before he goes to the airplane. I'm sorry, to the helicopter. Okay, so next let's go to, it's about 440, and here it's just about right in here somewhere. And you judge for yourself if this fellow is a prisoner of war, if he appears to have any health problems whatsoever. Look at this guy. Does this guy look like he has any health problem whatsoever? No. He's been playing games with these guys. He's been shooting AK-47s with these guys. He's in the family with these guys. That's the reason that there's so much resistance to rejoining his family. He's given up everything that's American, just as he wrote down. And now he is helping ISIS in the Middle East to proliferate by the release of their commanders. And Obama and the DOD have known this from the very beginning. The reason that Congress was left out, which is a felony perpetuated by the Obama administration, and it's not the administration in general, it's Barry Soetoro in the White House. Barack Obama. He is guilty of a felony by carrying this out because the law was created because of Obama. He has to give Congress that 30-day notification. And if Congress was given the 30-day notification, they would have smelled all this stuff out. They would have sniffed it all out. The reason Obama went around Congress is because the CIA told him to. Because the CIA and the lettered agencies are giving Barry the defense. Remember when Sheriff Arpaio went to Washington and he laid out the illegal alien, the fact that Barry was born in Kenya, immigrated to Indonesia. I've gone through the paperwork. I've gone through the paper trail. Barry Soetoro is Obama is definitely an illegal alien. Definitely. No doubt about it. The documentation shows that. That's why more than $1 million have been spent to cover up the documentation. The CIA, though, the same people that carried out the 9/11 attacks, the FBI, the CIA, Joint Chiefs, all these guys are protecting Obama to keep the lid on the 9/11 attacks, while the promised land, notice that the land that's being fought over right now, the land of Iraq and Syria, that's the promised land of Genesis chapter 15 verse 18. And this new Islamic State is growing right in the center of that promised land. It's going to grow all the way to the Euphrates River on the west and all the way to the Egyptian River on the east. That's their plan. So the reason is because a Rothschild-owned central bank must be installed in Syria. This is the only way to do it. But now the United States is going to find themselves fighting right beside, guess who? Iran. Iran sees the threat, but the problem is the CIA is pushing for ISIS. So even if they join forces with Iran, the United States is going to cut the legs out of any operation that weakens ISIS. That's the thing you guys have to realize. And releasing these five commanders, these guys right here, releasing these guys was vital because this provides the support for the infrastructure that is growing. They have to have intelligence, and they have to run counterintelligence to weed out their moles, and 10,000 other things. So the Iraq is going to fall. Baghdad is going to fall. I expect this weekend. It could take longer. It's possible. But what I expect to happen is, if these guys are as smart as they should be, then the only thing the United States is going to do is fire missiles. Whenever you know that your forces are going to come under missile attack, there's going to be no ground forces. Missile attack, you infiltrate the enemy quickly. Enemy quickly. There's no way that they can differentiate between the people of Baghdad and ISIS people once you're inside the city. So what these guys should be doing is pushing, because the stronger they push, the more that the soldiers that are bought and paid for by Iraq, the leaders of Iraq divided their forces along the Sunni lines, right? And so instead of keeping everybody and the Americans involved, now we've got just a bunch of what puppets. If in the people fighting in that military for Iraq, they know that they're not willing to die for those puppets, but these people that for ISIS, they're building a new country. They're willing to die. So the push is going to go on to Baghdad. That's the crown jewel. And the ISIS people, they're going to surround and invade the city as quickly as possible, because then that takes the missile attacks out of the equation. They're just going to blend right in. They should make promises to the Iraqi people. Get the Iraqi people on their side. The propaganda war is as important as the boots on the ground war. That wins the hearts of the people. And these kind of people right here, the legends of the Islamic movement, these are the kind of people that can give that operation traction and unite all these people over in the Middle East that are struggling in the power vacuum to see